Justin Arzon with IntelligentLifter.fit here today with Tyson Brown.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We got a lot of feedback asking us what intermittent fasting is after Tyson mentioned it in his Getting to Know You interview. So we thought we'd do a little piece on it. What is intermittent fasting? How does it work? How can it help you? Is it right for you? And if you have any questions afterwards, feel free to send us a message through the website and we'll be happy to get back to you on any questions that you may have. So Tyson, intermittent fasting, there seems to be a lot of people talking about it. I hear it quite a bit on a number of fitness forums. What exactly is it? How do you do it? And let's start there.
Alright, might as well start with the bread and butter, hey. Alright, so intermittent fasting is a certain amount of time when your body is actually not consuming calories. Now, a lot of religions like Muslims, Jews actually practice this fast and can go up to 24 hours without eating. But we're doing this from weight loss. A lot of people do it from a weight loss or energy point of view, so we're not actually going to go into the full 24-hour fast. So essentially, intermittent fasting can be 18 hours without eating, 16 hours without eating, up to 20 hours to 22 hours without eating, or, like I said, a full day fast. It all depends on the person and how you're going to be able to handle it. Now, the reason we do intermittent fasting is because it restricts you from eating a certain amount of time. So let's say for me, at the moment, I stop eating at 8 o'clock and I won't eat till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's essentially, that's 16, so that's about 18 hours I'm not eating during the day, which means there's only so much food I'm going to be able to consume in that time period. Probably I'm going to eat less than I usually would, which means I'm going to lose body fat. So it's pretty much, it's like calorie controlling, which is very, very beneficial for people if they can actually handle that type of dieting.
Okay, so when you're doing an intermittent fast then, you're relying that you're going to consume less calories. Now, what if I'm doing intermittent fasting but consuming the same amount of calories? So, for example, I count my calories, but let's say I consume, let's say it's 2,000 calories a day. If I consume 2,000 calories a day in a smaller time window,
yep.
So I'm still doing that intermittent fast, not eating for, let's say 18 hours.
Yep.
Will I still lose weight using this method, or is it strictly to actually restrict the amount of calories?
No, look, there's a lot of things, like a lot of debate about it. You're not necessarily going to lose weight because you still look at the calorie balance. So I'll give you an example. For me, I eat 3,300 calories a day, and that's my maintenance. And that's what I do at the moment when I do intermittent fasting. So I'm not losing weight. I'm not gaining weight. I'm at a happy medium. But what it actually essentially does is it puts you into let's say a fat burning state, right? So when you actually haven't consumed carbohydrates for a certain period of time and you start using energy, your body will go to body fat first as a source of energy as opposed to carbohydrates, right. Which is why I like using it. Okay. And another reason is let's say you might not lose weight, or you might, like me, stay in a maintenance, but you might have more energy during the day. And so that might be from a more beneficial point of things. So it is good for weight loss, but there are other effects it can actually be beneficial for, as opposed to just focusing on the weight loss. Right. However, a lot of people do look at intermittent fasting as a weight loss.
As a weight loss.
Yes.
Okay. So if I was trying to actually put on mass or put on size, would you recommend intermittent fasting?
Well, it depends how much you're going to be able to eat in that period of time. Yeah. Like for me, I would not be able to do it because it would probably feel like my stomach's going to explode. Like there have been a couple of times, just a warning guys, the first couple of times I actually did this, I didn't restrict my calories, sorry, I restricted the time frame. I was like, no, I'm going to go really hard and I'm going to try 20 hour fast and 4 hour eating period.
Yep.
I actually thought that I was going to go into a food coma and my stomach was going to explode. I could not get off the bed. I was laying down and it was the worst feeling I've ever been in from overeating. Right. So just a word of caution. If you want to try this with bulking, yes, sure, but be willing to experiment because it's not going to work for everyone. It can actually be very, very bad for your digestive system if you try and cram so much food in such a small amount of time.
Yeah, so I think, so the warrior diet, have you heard of the warrior diet?
Yes.
Isn't the warrior diet actually only eating that one time per day?
The one time per day, yeah. So the warrior diet, a lot like same type of thing. Some people are going to be able to do it, some people aren't. If you are going to do the warrior diet and you want to put on lean muscle and you want you've got to eat in that calorie surplus, your food is not going to be as clean. So you're not going to be getting your vegetables and your rice because you're going to want calorie dense foods. Yeah. So this is where people start eating like a lot of full fat chicken. So you might get the whole roast chicken with the skin. People will eat like ice cream and things like that because they go, well, I need to get all my calories in. So what's a nutrient dense food that I can have? What's a calorie dense food that I can have that I'm going to be able to get it in? So that's where that's when people start eating McDonald's and things like that. And it's just from a health point, I would Yeah.
Okay, and while I'm on that fast, is it okay for me to, be at the gym, while I'm, very low on that food, low on energy because I've been fasting, or?
Yeah, so that's another good question. Some people are going to be able to do it, some people aren't. So it all depends. A lot of people are going to have low blood pressure, low blood sugars when they actually start their fast, and their body's not going to be used to it. So you've got to be careful. You don't want to lift extremely heavy weights because the worst thing you could do is pass out.
Yeah.
Now, a funny story, when I used to do intermittent fasting, one morning I went into the gym and I tried to do a really heavy weight, and I had really strong coffee and I started getting head spins. Starting getting head spins, and I actually took the bench off the rack and I woke up with the bench press on top of me. And this guy's trying to pull it off me. He's like, "Are you alright? Are you alright?" And I had no idea what happened, hey. And it was just because my blood sugar was just too low.
So in other words, what you're saying then is maybe the first few times when you're starting to do the intermittent fast, lay off a little bit. Don't go as heavy as you normally would. Just kind of get used to how your body feels when you're in that that state of
that fasted
state.
Yeah, just really work yourself into it. Like for me now, I can do it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
But at the start, it was just so hard. Just take it a bit easier.
Okay. If I were to start this intermittent fasting, how many times a week, or what kind of schedule should I get on? Is it something I could do every day? Is it effective if I only do it once a week, or how should I go about doing this?
That's another thing like a lot of people do studies about. For me, I do it every day. Intermittent fasting between 16 to 18 hours. That's all I do. You can get started, maybe just try it. Do it once a week first. See how you go. Move it up to twice a week. Work your way into it, because that way your stomach, the same type of thing, is going to be able to adapt. So it's going to get used to more food coming in at a certain period of time. But yeah, that's the best thing I'd recommend, is work your way into it. But it's not going to be as effective if you're doing it on occasion, because our body likes to be in cycles. So if I'm eating all over the place, all over the time, the body's not going to like that. So you want to make sure it's a regular routine that you're doing. Even if you're not doing intermittent fasting, try and keep your meal consistency the same time every day. It's going to be the most beneficial thing for your body too.